Chapter 9 Types of Verbs. The words you have filled in the blanks are verbs. Understanding the topic. Verbs are words that denote action, possession, or being. They show what the subjects, objects are, do, think or feel, say, have, and undergo. Examples: I am 17 years old. The watchman rang our doorbell thrice. Adi Raish felt like he was going to pass out. Catch: Shay has 3 pet rabbits. My cousins told me they would be late. A sentence must have a verb in order to communicate its meaning. Verb and its object. In most sentences, a verb requires an object. Examples: Mahendra plays. Mahendra plays golf once a week. In the above example, the first sentence doesn't give any information about what Mahendra plays, as there is no object. In the second sentence, we understand that he plays golf once a week. The word golf is the object in this sentence. However, it is not essential that all verbs have an object. Direct and indirect objects. Verbs can have 2 objects, direct and indirect. Direct objects are nouns or pronouns that receive the action of the verb. They are identified by asking the questions who or what. Example: the lawyer called Hema. Who did the lawyer call? Hema. Indirect objects are nouns or pronouns that tell us to whom or for whom the action of the verb is performed. Example: I asked Raghav a simple question. Whom did I ask a question? Raghav. Keep in mind that for a verb to have an indirect object, there must also be a direct object. The indirect object usually appears before the direct object. Look at these sentences. Subject, verb, indirect object. Direct object: we gave them a warm welcome. Manoj met his friend for lunch. Transitive, intransitive, and detransitive verbs. Transitive verbs are verbs that need an object to complete their meanings. Example: Vikas watched the meteor shower. In this example, meteor shower is the direct object of the verb watched. It answers the question, what did Vikas watch? Watched is a transitive verb because it needs the object meteor shower to make sense. Intransitive verbs are verbs that do not need an object to complete their meanings. Example: this parrot talks. In this example, the verb talks is an intransitive verb because it does not need an object to make complete sense. Detransitive verbs are verbs that take 2 objects. Example: Mr. Edwards donated a painting to the museum. In this example, the verb donated takes the objects painting and the museum. Hence, it is a detransitive verb. Watch out! The same verbs can be transitive or intransitive depending on how the verb is used. Example: the neighbors are shouting. Intransitive. The neighbors are shouting at the milkman. Transitive. Incomplete verbs and complements. Incomplete verbs are verbs that do not make complete sense without other words or phrases. Incomplete verbs are also known as verbs of incomplete predication. Example: the doctor looked optimistic. In the above example, the verb looked requires the word optimistic to make complete sense. The words or phrases that incomplete verbs require to make complete sense are called complements. When they are added to the verbs, they form complete predicates. Look at the following table for more examples. Subject, incomplete verbs, complement. The teacher seems busy. My uncle is sick. Subjective and objective complements. Complements can be of 2 types, subjective and objective. Subjective complements are words or phrases that tell us more about the subject. Examples: the pilot sounds cheerful. The food at the wedding was tasteless. In the above examples, the words cheerful and tasteless tell us about the subjects, the pilot and the food respectively. Therefore, they are subjective complements. Objective complements are words or phrases that tell us more about the object. Examples: we painted the house green. The king appointed Chetan the court jester. In the above examples, the words and phrases green and the court jester tell us more about the objects, the house and Chetan. Therefore, they are objective complements.